listening to pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 129. Same morning, every morning. Once every day, we wake up. Once every day, we wake up from our sleep, from our dreams. And our sleep, our dreams changes in how they feel and how many hours, if it felt restful or if it felt nervous. If our dreams were benign, if we felt in control in our dreams, like we were the dominant part, or if we felt passive or done unto on the receiving end. Our nights and our dreams feel different. But one time, every day, we wake up and we get up to start our day. And that is our morning. Our morning is that window of time between our sleep, our dreams, and us being awake. And during that window of time, we are vulnerable. We might not feel vulnerable, but we are at least impressionable, suggestible. Once we are in that window, when we are not asleep but not fully awake, our morning, when we are in that window of time, our impressions can sort of find their way in unpredictable ways. So in our sleep situation, in our framework of emotional skills, our sleep situation, there we have one specific skill called morning. And morning is about, in practice, being aware of our own vulnerability, this first window of time, just when we have woken up. And that takes us to the title of today's episode. Same morning, every morning. So what we do, our specific skill, morning, is that we create predictability for ourselves by creating a morning routine that protects us from random impressions. No random impressions. So, same morning, every morning, means that we get up, we make some sort of, some sort of breakfast, coffee, tea, porridge, whatever, just something that we like and that it's the same every morning. And we spend time with ourselves. No one else, just us. In that crucial first window of time, just when we have woken up, just when we are in between sleep and awake. So in a casual way, we make our breakfast, we make our coffee, we sit in the same spot, we look at the same view, which also is always the same. Could be just a painting or a wall in your room or whatever. We do not look at screens, no TV, no smartphone, no internet, none of that. Just us sitting with our breakfast in that first window of time. So that makes, in practice, the same morning every morning. So what is this good for? Why would we want to have the same morning every morning? Well, when we do this, when we prevent random stimuli, random impressions from entering when we are impressionable in this window of time, when we do this, we achieve a centering point. It's sort of like a reference point. So our night, our dreams become what they are. We get a grip on what they are, what they really are, once we sort of calibrate them against this centering point, this same morning every morning. So if you sleep one way the first night, and then you have the same morning every morning, and then you sleep another night, then you will know the second night from the first one via this reference point, the same morning every morning. You will know in this fully predictable morning routine, you will know what your night really meant for you. In the same way, this same morning, every morning, via this point you will also know in retrospect what your day was. So your nights and your days become more clear and more themselves, so to speak, against this reference point, this boring morning. And also, in these times, we live in highly changing times, highly volatile times. There is a lot changing right now, and from one day to the next it seems like big things are moving. And that way, when we have this same morning, every morning, this fully predictable window of time, then the changes happening from day to day due to the times we live in will not feel overwhelming. So this same morning, every morning, it sort of becomes like a blank slate, tabula rasa, like this fresh piece of paper, and the day in front of us or our night behind us may paint whatever it likes. Life might paint whatever it likes on this clean slate of paper. It doesn't matter, because the next day we will have a new clean sheet of paper. So it doesn't matter if the day before was very confusing. It doesn't matter if our night was filled with bad dreams, because we know that we will get this centering moment. We know that we will get this fully predictable morning routine. It all gets very robust. So it comes down to that if we want to be able to navigate unpredictable times, we need routines that are fully predictable. Because if we do not know predictability, we have no chance of knowing unpredictability. We must have that reference point in order to see unpredictability for what it is and for what it's not. It's just logic. Also, when we have this fully predictable morning routine, then we will get an intuitive sense of when something happening during the day is too far in our mind, too far from our reference point. So by always centering back to this morning routine, we will not stray too far in any direction, because we know that the next morning we must come back to this morning routine, so we won't go too far away from who we really are. When we sit in a room by ourselves with nothing but breakfast and coffee, and there is no impressions, there is no other people there, there is no music, no TV, no screens, then we will simply know who we are. It is not meditation, because meditation is this conscious mental activity. This is simply to just be with ourselves, to sit in our own company every morning. It is to communicate to ourselves that I am a person that can just spend time with myself, such as I am now. In extension, that communicates to everyone around us that they too can spend time with us, such as we are, because we have already done it. And that is why it's so important that we do this casually. We just sit casually by ourselves with our breakfast. That way, everyone else will intuitively know that we are a person that is fine with themselves. In these times, there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of despair. Every day we meet many people, basically all people, that feel beside themselves, that feel confused in who they are, because times of conflict just are extremely confusing. And that is why the same morning, every morning, becomes crucial. Truly crucial. And yes, to sit like this by ourselves every morning. Some mornings it's really heavy. Some mornings it feels not fun at all. It feels unpleasant. It can feel anxious. It can feel we can feel disgusted. We can feel desperate. All kinds of highly unpleasant feelings. And that is the point, to feel all that stuff by ourselves, starting out our day, so that when we go through our day, we will know all that terrible stuff, and then we will not project it as much upon the wrong things. We will know what comes from inside of us, and in extension then what comes from outside. The inside and outside will feel more distinct, and the dynamics between our insides and our outsides will become more fluent, more natural feeling, more constructive feeling. There are tons of great things about having the same morning every morning. It is a specific skill, but it helps everything. But since it is so simple to just be boring and do the same thing for ourselves every morning, it can seem deceivingly simple. Like, can it really be that simple? And sometimes, yes, it can be that simple. Especially in times of conflict, confusion, and much societal change. Something simple like the same morning every morning is crucial. We need predictable moments, fully predictable moments, in order to know unpredictable moments. Otherwise, it just all gets this. It all becomes this mush. And then we won't know anything. That's it for today. Thank you.